In this video, we're going to continue looking at histograms and show you another way to create a histogram, this time using SDA. We're going to use a new kind of variable. This will be a discrete orderable variable, and I'll show you that right within SDA you can often produce a histogram that's perfectly acceptable and download it as a graphic file that can be included in a Microsoft Word document, for example. Here you can see in my browser that I'm logged into SDA. I'm going to be looking at the cumulative 1972 to 2012 data set, and the variable we're going to look at is called degree. I want to make certain that I'm on the default page, which is this frequencies and cross tabulation. If I want to do something else, I come up here to analysis and I can pick means and correlations and so forth. But I'm on the right page, so I'm just going to go ahead and type in degree. And then I'm going to come down here to my selection filter, and I'm going to limit this to 2012. You can see that my autocomplete, that I've already done this analysis, and the autocomplete remembers. And now I need to go through and take some options. For the weight, I'm going to choose no weight. My percentaging is fine since I'm doing a univariate distribution. We can color code, we can look at summary statistics, but I think I now want to change this bar chart from a stacked bar to a bar chart. And vertical is fine, although I could do horizontal. Color is fine. Let's just see if there's anything else down here. That looks good. I'm going to run the table. You can see that in my browser, I'm using Chrome on this computer. It just opens up this window in a new tab. On your computer, it may open up a totally new window. Here's my frequency distribution. We can see that in 2012, 14.6% of our sample had less than a high school degree, 49.4% had at least a high school degree, and so forth. So there's my frequency distribution. Of course, I could take that information and move it over to Excel or to a Google Docs spreadsheet and create a graphic like I showed you in the other video. But down here, I'll show you SDA has created a passable video. Now, there's a couple of differences between this and Google Docs. For example, these bars are pushed together, which I think is fine for a discrete orderable, but not really good for a discrete non-orderable. That's number one. And number two, we don't really need the color coding, but I don't believe that there's a way in SDA to turn it off. Having said that, for the purposes of our course, I think it's fine to go ahead and use this graphic and to be able to interpret it. Now, we can do a couple of other things here. I'm going to close this window and go back. For example, I'm going to increase the size of this, make it 800 by 600, and I'm going to go ahead and show the percents in the graphic as well. I'll run the table again. I get the same frequency distributions, which I should. Now you can see I've got a bit larger graphic, and I now want to download this. So I'm going to right click inside the graphic image, and I'm going to save the image as. The default here is to go to my downloads. I'm just going to throw it on my desktop, and we can take a quick look at it. Downloads completed. Oh, it's hidden up here. Let me just pull it out, and I'll double click on it. And again, in my viewer on this computer, the default viewer is set up to be Picasa, which is again from Google, and it's a free piece of software. So this graphic can now be dragged and dropped into a Microsoft Word document, for example. The distribution here shows us that a significant proportion of Americans do not complete high school. 15% don't make it through high school. But the vast majority, 49%, complete at least a high school degree. And then let's look at the situation you're in. You guys are all in college. So here we have 18% of our sample have completed at least a college degree, and 10% have gone on to get some type of graduate degree, a master's, or a PhD. So there you have it. Pretty quick and easy way to make this graphic. When we go look at histograms, the next histogram we'll look at will be for continuous data, and there'll be some additional complexities, and I'll give you some additional ways to create these kinds of graphics.